Ma'am, are you a student or a staff?
I'm just a history enthusiast. That's
Oh,
about it.
okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Do you do this every week or something? How does it work?
Yes, ma'am. I am doing this out of my interest for technology and archaeology, and I'm doing it
Okay.
every week on Friday at the same time. So from
Okay.
5 to 6 in English, sorry, Tamil, and from 7 to 8 on English.
Okay. So it's the same content, or do you have different modules every week?
I'm updating the content as I
Okay.
find new
I get it.
findings in Creedy.
I get it. I get it.
So we'll start the session now. So thank you all for coming. So before I begin, I would like to tell you one thing. If I take a pause in between to admit someone, just bear with me that I might be doing it because the person should not wait for longer than 5 to 10 seconds. So that being said, welcome again. So I just want to put a quote that was said by Avayar in the 12th century. That is, கற்றது கைமண் அளவு கல்லாதது உலகளவு. So whatever we have learnt until now, it's just handful, and what we are about to learn is in the size of the world. So with this understanding, we are going to see the details that we have got from the Kiridi excavation, and we as a company from Madras Mindworks, how we had collaborated with the archaeological department, and we had able to find some new evidences of how technology was advanced at that time. So before I begin, I would like to tell you a small story. This involves a thief, not a petty thief, but a smart thief who was very fond of stealing books, particularly the books that had a lot of beautiful design and beautiful catchy things on his cover. So his life was going pretty straight, and he had no reason to move out of his idea of stealing exquisitely rare books. So one day he saw a person walking in front of him with a book over his shoulder bag, and it looked pretty beautiful. It had a lot of embroidery, a lot of golden designs in the outer cover. So he immediately took to his effort and started his hand inside the bag and took it out. And immediately the person got little alarmed and he shouted "Kapathunga," which means in Tamil, if I'm okay with it, I can continue in 50% English and Tamil. Is it okay? Pragadish, Pragadish, is it okay if I continue in Tamil and English both? Yes, that's fine. Okay. Lakshmi ma'am is fine. Arun, I know Arun already knows Tamil and English both. Okay. Lakshmi ma'am, are you okay with Tamil also, right? Conversive Tamil?
Yes, yes, I'm okay with it.
Okay. So he shouted காப்பாத்துங்க. ஸோ அந்த சவுண்ட் கேட்டவுடனே வந்து பயந்து போய் வந்து டக்குன்னு he started to take a run, and he went and settled and started reading the book. So அந்த புக்குக்குள்ளே பார்த்தா வந்து he found a lot of interesting symbols that he could not understand. ரொம்ப வந்து கிரிப்டிக்காக இருந்திருக்கு, and he was not able to find the answers to it. So but he got so engrossed in it, he literally went inside the book and he jumped out of the book at a different place. So as soon as everybody, if you come out of a book, only thing it can be done is magical. So after that magical experience, he wanted to know where he is. So he went and met the first people that he saw. யாரை பார்த்தாங்களோ ஃபஸ்ட்டு பார்த்தோன்னே நம்ம எங்கே இருக்கோம், யாரை மீட் பண்ணுறோம், who are we and where are we, and right, that all kind of questions had come to him. And the people who spoke to him spoke in an earlier dialect of Tamil that is called Tamili. So Tamili is the ancient form of Tamil text that came in the early centuries, that is before the Common Era. So he came to know that he is in the very past. So much past is behind him, and the scripts matched to the text that was seen in the book. He started his way of finding. One second. He started his way of finding the reason to understand that language, that cryptic language that was in the book. But unfortunately, only thing he can do is the book that was available to him. So he started taking notes in the book that he had traveled to. That's when he learned to understand that he had time traveled. So time traveling back to the past and having the only book in his hand, he had no other way to make it as his own personal diary. So his life took another turn. He'd had a different timeline. So next he got older and older and got much clarity about the findings that he was able to find. So நிறைய understanding கிடைக்க கிடைக்க he became a person of high intellect, and he one day saw himself being robbed by a stranger, and when he saw him behind, he saw his younger self, his own younger self, taking the book from him. He can only shout காப்பாத்துங்க, so it means save himself. And he was very pretty perplexed, understanding that his own personal diary is getting lost over many millennia. But he was very sure that this book is not going to go in vain. It will later become history, and it will become next people's understanding for the future. With that being said, what happened to the diary? So this guy, one second, I'm getting a lot of admitting. So with that being said, the diary become in the possession of the person, and that later become his own personal historical evidence of what had been the technology in Kiredi. So this is me. I am Abhineth. I am part of a company called Madras Mindworks, and I am going to be your time traveler and who's going to take you around in the past and the history. So let's begin. So before we begin, I want to tell another thing about life. So life begins at the age we were born. So from the age where we are born, from 1 to 20 years of age, we start learning a lot of things that about history and that about our past and what are the things that have been already developed in the world. Next, at the age of 21 to 25, you start to migrate, you start to move out. நிறைய வேலைக்காக நம்ம வேற ஒரு இடத்துக்கு நம்ம குடிபெயர வேண்டியிருக்கும். So we start migrating, and we then move on to opportunities that give us green pasture. Then we started understanding things that are needed for them to the work. So finding SOP, standard operating procedures. So a lot of standard operating procedures will start to evolve in his life, and he will become the sole person who controls everything on the future. Next, he has to start writing history of his own. He has to write his own standard operating procedures, and he has to evolve into the age of retirement. So 60 years of age, the person has to retire. And the next future generation will start to have the story of what he has learned in his life. This becomes common between both genders. So as a man, as a woman, we both have the history of the life evolving throughout our lifetime. And once we age and we become old, we tell it to our next generation. This becomes the story of our life. Similarly, the history doesn't stop there. History of the world is also happening in such a way. That is, we had a pre-existing civilization that was long lost or long forgotten. With that, having 4,500 years or so have the civilization, it migrated to a new location, somewhere in which there was a river bank or a river valley. All these reasons was because of the work that was involved. Maybe the work was involved due to the king's disciples, or it might be due to the reason of calamity, natural calamities like cyclones or any other reasons would have come in. Next, the person would have started writing the literature that was required for the standard operating procedure. That is, becomes the language's barrier. Next, it becomes artifacts and evidences for the future, because many millennia, many centuries later, we will find evidences of the artifacts that were lost in the time, and then it becomes a story for us to tell it to the past. So this time travel experience that we are going to experience right now is going to be the cultural revelation of how the time period has evolved and what some millennia ago. I'm not going to tell which millennia is Kiredi right now. So you will get the answers at the end of the presentation. So I'm going to go you through time by time. So just to give a comparison, this has been the timeline in which we are going to understand, and across the world this has happened a lot. So every time period there has been a migration of people, and this has created in a lot of cultural learning and technological learning. So, and also one more thing, there doesn't seem to be a 0th year. Many questions come from the audience whether there is a 0th year in the world. There is no 0th year. So time goes linearly. It had started from some point, and there was some commonality that happened in 2020 years ago. We started it as the year 1, and we started counting the numbers in forward. Earlier to it, we had BC, before the common era, that became the understanding of reversal years. So there is no 0th year, remember that. And coming to the point where Kiredi is, it is in the period where the Sangam literature was formed. Sangam literature, as we know, has been evidentially proven that it happened somewhere in the 5th and the 8th century, and it was formed by a Pandya king who was called Kadungon, and this has been mentioned in the Irayanar Agapurul. This is a Sangam literature that was written in the 5th and 8th century. Before to that, there was an existential point of first generation Sangam literature, but it was lost. It was completely lost. We don't know the reason why it was lost. Some calamity, some external king's influence on destroying the evidence of the past, anything would have been the reason, but we don't know what had happened in the earlier 549 poets and their literary values. But we know from Tolgapir to the later times, from Tolgapir to the later times, we know that there was evidence of newer literature that was forming. So we know that the classification has that there are 36 beautiful literatures that was written in Tamil in the Sangam period. It was classified as the 18 higher versions and the 18 lower versions. This is called in Tamil as Ettu Thogai and Pattu Pattu in higher verses. This had a lot of inclination towards Madurai also, because Madurai is the city of diverse culture, and Madurai was also reflected in the Sangam literature. For example, if you see the 6th and the 6th to 10th in the Pattu Pattu, the 10 adults, you have Madurai Kanji, which is describing about the life in Madurai at the turn of the century. That is from the 1st century to the 6th century, because it was somewhere around the time that this Padinan Merkanakku was written. That was the first generation of Sangam literature was written. And Edunal Vadai, Kurinji Pattu, Pattina Palai, Malayapadugadam, all these things were written around the landscape of the outer terminal of the Madurai. And I will tell you what was the reason for it to be written such a way. And also the higher verse also had a competitor with the lower verses. This is called 18 lesser text. This is called Padinan Kilkanakku. This had the world's first understanding of creating life's meaning through just 2 sentences. This is called Thirukural. Tamil, we are very fond of calling it as Thiruvalluvar, who had written it. And he had made sure that people would understand all these topics in the relatable form. What are all these topics? This was written in the 1st century. The topics that were written are on education, man's skill, man's wisdom, how to respect your elders, what are the elements of admiration, what are the things that you find as habits of the ancestors, how do you find friendship, நட்புன்ற இலக்கணத்துக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம், எல்லாமே everything was written in the Sangam literature. How do you treat your elders after they are dead? How does the happenings of things that are there in the society, and what is meaning of predestination? What is the happenings of the world beyond the life? Next is politics. The topic politics. How does it come into play? How do you work with the king to benefit of the life? What are the things that you should be doing with your society, and that society should able to find new ways of one second, I'm getting feedback. Thank you. So what are the ways in which you can treat your neighbors, and what are the things that you can call as ethics at the home? All these things was written in the Sangam literature topic. So this, the experience of time travel will give you all the reasons of knowing what was happening in the past and how it is relatable to our present. So as I told you, there was a lot of understanding of the landscape from Madurai and Madurai beyond. So Madurai has a lot of places in and around its vicinity, which has all the 5 different landscapes. These are in Tamil called as Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Neidal, Palai. I'll show you one by one how it is relatable. So Kurinji is a mountainous region. So it has the beautiful verses of the man and the woman. That is the lover and both the lovers meeting for the first time at a cold place, and where they were able to romance at the beauty of the nature. This was the mountainous region where a lot of poetical verses were created. The next one is Mullai. So Mullai is the all the forest habitat, the fresh air that you can breathe in, the river valley that flows across. All these things had created a kind of longing and wantingness for the literature to have a beauty in it. Next is Marudam. Marudam is the croplands. Croplands are uniquely found everywhere across Madurai region, and Madurai is predominantly known as the rice bowl of the ancient times, because it had created a lot of habitual reasons for consuming a lot of tradable components like rice, paddy, and other things. Next is Neidal. From about 600 kilometers, 500 kilometers from Madurai, you can find a lot of seashore. This seashore gave the opportunity for the hero and the heroine, that is the person who is being mentioned in this Sangam literature, about the longingness of the person traveling afar. There are instances of the wife missing the husband through the literature. There are instances of the husband having to admit the time at which they are to need of new ways of knowing their future. All these things had happened. And next, Palai. Palai is something quite unique to the landscape in and around Madurai. Earlier to the times, we know that the part of the one second. And the recent Tamil movie also had mentioned it. The film called Asuran had a film shot across this landscape, where the importance of the landscape was shown in a much dynamic way. These are very desolate places, no crops can grow. So this defines the probability that Madurai had a lot of landscape in and around it. That is equivalent to that of Sangam period. So moving on. So now coming to the topic where my book was getting lost. So from first generation, books were completely lost due to unknown reasons, maybe due to natural calamities or something. The second generation, from which we had the reason from Irainar Agapporul, that the Kadungon is the emperor from Pandya dynasty, had made sure that all these things have to be preserved for the future. So across a time period of 4,400 years literature, some of them have been found. Some 1,700 verses and poets have given us the understanding of the earlier life in the Sangam period. So now where is Keeladi in it? So understanding of grammar and literature, understanding of art and historic evidences, both combined together to create the culture and civilization. In English terms, we call it as handshake, but in Indian culture, we call it as namaste. So thank you everyone for coming to this presentation. Now I'm going to give you an overall insight of what are the things that we found as a technological evidence of the advanced culture in Keeladi compared to that of what we have right now as modern day technology. So these are going to be the overall topics that we are going to see. Is my voice audible or? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So these are the topics that we are going to see. Everybody keeps coming a little after one after the other, so I have to constantly pause and admit them. So and then these topics are going to be seen in depth of understanding what are the technologies that they use also. One second. So can I go ahead? Okay. So as we saw right now, so we had a person who is time traveler. The time traveler had been in the 21st century in 2020. He traveled back in time to some other timeline, and he had traveled through a magical book that was the diary of the person. And this diary was getting lost because he stole it from himself. The book thief was a very smart guy, and we do not know the reason why he stole that book. So this is the Keeladi's story starting from the beginning again. So those who have missed the beginning, I told you a very small 5-minute story before which we told you about the Sangam literature and the Sangam topics. So those who have missed in the last 10-15 minutes would be able to see this in the next presentation. So where is Keeladi right now? So Keeladi is a place located in Madurai. So Madurai is about 12 kilometers from there is Keeladi. And it is located between Rameshwaram and Tribhuvanam. And from the eagle's point of view, we go close. There is a place called Palli Chandai Tidal. It's a name of a place in Tamil. And this total coconut grove is about 110 acres. And in that is a very small area, just less than 1 acre, is being excavated by the archaeological team. And moving still closer from the eagle's point of view to a bird's point of view. So this is the site. It was first excavated in 2014. So in which there are a lot of trenches that were digged at a depth of around 14 to 18 feet. So all these trenches had a unique marking in the shape of yellow color stickers. All these things that you see right now here. So what are these stickers? For this to understand, we need to know stratigraphy. Stratigraphy is a physics concept. So I'll go a little deep into it. So before we go and after what we want to see. So from the day 10 of excavation, this is what you see as a structural remain. And the day of 250, you would go deeper and deeper to get excavated with a lot of artifacts and a lot of items. One second. So how did they find all these artifacts? They might have used very complex tools. Not at all. So they have used very simple tools like sickles, hammer, and just little brushes to break open the sand and see the hidden history inside it. Is my slide visible, or am I going too fast? I think the person who joined last, Vishal, can you see the presentation? Yes, okay, thank you. So we'll go ahead. So what is stratigraphy? So you might have seen the earlier times. Can you please mute your audio, Vishal? One second, I'll mute it. So we might have seen all this science fair when we were in the 6th standard or 7th standard of your education. I think you have to press the presentation on my slide share. If you can access it, I don't know who had sent the message. Probably you might be able to see it. My name would be displayed, Abhineth Ramachandran. You can click on it and your my presentation will come in the full screen for those who don't understand. I don't understand. What do you mean by can't connect? Can someone comment on whether my slide is visible? Is my slide visible? Okay. Thank you. So, thank you. So I'll resume this slide. So we might have seen all these 6 standard presentations about how things are, and when things get submerged in water, it stays at a different level. Say like wood floats on the surface, a plastic die will float and sink to a certain level, and beyond that we have iron objects that steel can sink deeper. So water has a property to coagulate with things and it stays in a different level, and this becomes the reason for you to understand stratigraphy. Okay, I'll speak a little closer to the microphone maybe. So a river has a flow rate over a period of many millennia. So it flows at different heights based on the water condition and the accumulation of rainfall. So it always leaves behind a certain stratigraphical level of sand. So the topmost sand is the one that has flown on the highest point, and the lowermost sand is the point at which it has flown at the lowest time. So this becomes an on-lap and off-lap kind of scenario. So when the water flows, it tries to coagulate everything. Can't hear clearly. Okay, just one second. Is my audio clear now? Okay, thank you. So I'll continue in this way. So this on-slap and off-slap kind of scenario is called the stratigraphy region. So this gives a residue of all the things that we see right now. So after many millennia, people will still find these evidences of lost mineralogical data. And even if you try to excavate something, the youngest thing is in the topmost point, and the oldest thing, that is the artifacts that were in the older times, will get submerged deep into the sand. So in regards to Kiredi site is the artifacts were found at the depth of 15 feet to 18 feet. So it was much deeper than the normal point. And the artifacts that were found from there were placed in a separate pottery shed, and each one was analyzed for finding inscriptions. Why inscriptions? Because that is the next topic. I'm not sure if everybody else can hear the same way, because I'm shouting the highest point and someone is telling volume please, volume please. I don't know who is telling volume please. Is my voice still not audible? It's audible, okay. I think the person who is experiencing lower audio should try to increase the volume in their device. Maybe it's a smartphone or anything else. Please increase your volume from your side. Okay, thank you. So I'll continue. So these epigraphical inscriptions will give you the understanding of what are things that are found there at different heights. So Tamil has a unique evidence of things that were written even in the earliest time. This is the turn of 1st century also. So now comparing epigraphy with stratigraphy. So those things that are found at the depth of 6 feet, that is a normal human height, is the depth at which the river water would have flown. That is normally some 3 or 4 centuries ago. So you find that on the topmost layer, that is from 2 meters and above that. And when you go deeper, that is even 15 feet deeper, you will find evidences of things that are. You will find evidences of things even older than that. So now comparing artifacts that were found there. Next is antiquities. So I gave you a simple example of a science experiment. So this science experiment will give you the reason of 2 artifacts that were found in the future time. That is, the dye and the steel will only remain after some many millennia. So what had remained from Kennedy? One second. So Kennedy artifacts or something like this. So you will have a lot of pottery sheds, lot of ivory items and lot of many things. So now we are going to see one by one what are the things that we found as cultural evidence and civilizational evidence of technology. So I'm going to introduce another person in the story. This person name is Adan. Adan is a very fond member who I met in the earliest time when I was time traveling. So I asked Adan what are the things that we have as different things in the Kennedy excavation site. So I met him in the late of the 1st century, 2nd century when I was time traveling. So he told me all these things that were unique to the idea of that particular person. He is a pot maker. So he told me about all the beautiful black and red ware kind of pottery. One second. All the decorative ware that was found there. All the perforated pottery that was made there. And all the painted pottery that was uniquely to that time. So he wanted me to engage him into the time of visiting his pottery shed, and he also told me there were many educational things and many technological things that you can come and experience it. So now I am fortunate to introduce Adan again. So Adan is going to take us through all the technological findings from that time so that we'll understand what is comparative to the time of present day. So comparing Kennedy artifacts with technologically advanced humans as we are right now. So the red and black ware that was found there is a unique way of manufacturing it. So for manufacturing such kind of things, you need to have understanding of furnaces, design of the component and design of materials. So this is done using at the current times using inverted firing method. So which is a highly heat treatable process which existed at that time. So people at the Kennedy had a inclination of understanding the heat treatment process, the metallurgical property of silica, and the temperature at which we have to work in the efficient way. So this over a period of time had made them to understand how uniquely they are technologically advanced at the earliest known civilization. Next is perforated pottery. You might be knowing, we might be using it every day in our filtration process. Our mothers used to make it a lot more reasons to wash a lot of things. Next is designed pottery. Next is rouleted pottery. This is impression based pottery which a person needs to know the tool making efforts also. So technology was advanced at that time for tool making. So we saw the furnace usage. So furnace was something that they had advanced in this time. So the heat treatment process of working with furnace was all known to the Kennedy people at 6th century BC. And working with artifacts on the design and press tools. All these things was known to them at the earliest time. Next, working with stones, that was also known to them. Working with wood materials. We don't have actual reason to know where the wood material is because time had taken it from us. So wood gets decayed and corroded over time. But we still have an evidence of the nails, the iron nails that are left behind. Why? Because now if we work in the modern times, I think most of you understand the word shamiana, because we used to make a lot of pandal kind of thing when we go into festivals or kind of events in our home. So we used to dig small holes that is in the shape of this kind of circular dimensions, and we used to stick wooden poles in it. So after the wooden poles are get inserted, we would have to fasten them using nails. So once the nails are left behind, you have to remove it and you have to leave from that space. So this festering of poles leave behind a lot of wood and the metal contact. So after many millennia, use the purpose of gravity we will work on, and the nail will fall down into the gravitational point onto the flat surface. So inside these pits, all these pits, there were parallelly arranged nails found at various distances, which were equally distanted at such a way. So this is one such example of that iron nail found inside the pit. So there was a reason for them to work with woodwork also, through that it becomes evidential. So next is ivory and bone work. So you might be knowing ivory is a very workable material, and people had worked in such a way. But now it is banned. You cannot work with ivory and bones because you will be captured by the Indian Forest Service if you hunt any animals, even if it is an animal that gives you ivory. Next, KDD had interesting findings of all the coin work that had happened. So technologically advanced people who had worked with inscribing in coins and metalworking was also there. Copper objects. Copper is a cold working material. So cold working, you don't have to heat treat it at all. So heat treatment process is devoid of it. You can easily work it out. Even modern days, we use copper for a lot of electronic items. So most of the electrical wiring systems use copper. So KDD people had found the work to make work of copper also. So just to give a comparison of cold working method. And iron objects, you need to be heat treated. So at a temperature of 1100 degrees, like pottery, like including pottery and metals, there are some inclinations for them to make it much hardworking materials. And the glass bangles, these are all found at a depth of around 15 to 18 feet. So you can understand the impact of working with glass is very high, because you need to hold that in a component such a way, you need to bend it in such a way. These are bangles that were in arc dimensions. So in complications right now in modern technology, we used to have a gas burner and a spot burner to burn the material so that it can be shaped into any point. And glass beads. To create glass beads, we need to have a conical dimension that had to hold that in a perfect dimension. So modern days we use a die and a press system so that we can create the burner effect to form this cylindrical shape. And as I told you, furnaces was the main reason for them to advance into technology. So in modern day, in India, we find brick furnaces everywhere for manufacturing red bricks. So this design of this furnace that you see here is all made through possible by extensively using terracotta material or sand material to form a structure that is perfectly in rectangular shape. And also conical shaped furnaces. So why? Because the furnace design is made in such a way that the heat goes up and comes back in, so that the temperature remains same. I think most of you understand metallurgy. Metallurgy is a subject of material understanding over a period of different temperatures. So in someone who has to work with material properties needs to understand the design of the furnace also. And I'll show you the modern day equivalent of conical furnaces. So this is a modern day conical furnace. This is still being used in India. So this uniquely circular shape is a remnant of the older design, because everything else was lost, because this is something like 8 feet below the ground. So when they started excavating, they found a lot of similarities to modern day technology. So some 2600 years back, someone had thought that of civil engineering design for conical furnaces. So next is spindle. for textiling. So these were made with ivory and stones. So normally we also use it in modern day technology, hand looms which were made in everywhere around the world. So a lot of spindle tools which are joining for a joining point. So this uniquely shaped spindle tool is the one that you see here in the modern time. So this is even used today. Next is the habitational of people around with animals. So a lot of bone fragments were found, and this showed them that the people who were populating around the Madurai region had all these animals. That is, Madurai is a place where it is uniquely known for Jallikattu. It's a man's sport where a person has to take hold of the hump of the cow, and he has to manage it for at least 10 seconds so that he can win the prize. Earlier times, it is known in the literature that the man has to prove his worthiness, and only then by conquering that wild bull, and then he has to go and win the woman of his love or his love interest. This was found there. So next, gold working. Obviously, you know, these are the artifacts that were found in Kizhadi excavation. And a lot of cornelian beads and beads made of different origins. So these beads were found in different cultural points. So now in present day era, we came to know that these are being used even by the modern day people who are from various parts of the world, like Americans, Africans, South Americans, all these people, even Australia, Aborigine people used to have this kind of stone works. This gives us the evidence that people have traveled far and wide, and India is being known for the trade welfare of things. So in particular to the region of Madurai, how things have worked out. So as I told you earlier in the slides, Madurai is a region where the Pandya dynasty had ruled, and the Pandya dynasty had all the materials that you saw earlier. That is, it had the reasons for spices, metals, silk that was found a lot in this abundance, and a lot of gold materials. So somewhere around this area there was a lot of trade and design. So this made sure that the modern day people, when they try to adopt it, they have adopted the technology of using multicolored ornaments. So these multicolored ornaments come from various stones that have been excavated from Kizhadi. So now when you compare iron objects also, a lot of iron objects are also found there. So now comparing the design that was found from Kizhadi's excavation, we also find evidences of much people using this in the current generation, that is found in Africa, Native Americans, because they used cross beads of different stones to create various patterns. So the person who we are seeing right now behind me has a multi-ornamented stone design. This was found even in Kizhadi site. So, and weigh stones. So when you have to trade something, you need to know the actual value of it. So there is evidence. This was recently excavated in July 5th from Kizhadi site. So this is something uniquely where you have measuring dimensions of equal scale. That is 300 grams, 150 grams, 18 grams and 8 grams. So this is knowing the fact that people had traded some things to create weighing stones. And modern day use it for a lot of measuring tools. So you still have that as a technology. And for creating insignia, when you have some kind of intaglium ring, you can create impressions on it. We still use it sometime for commemorative reasons and memorial reasons. We have that in our government seals. Next, we don't have any tradable goods that can be shown here because these were never found at the depth of 15-18 feet. But we have evidential proof that a lot of Greek and Roman emperors had asked their poets and their scholars to travel to Madurai at the earliest, even close to around 300 BC, 400 BC. And Kizhadi excavation site, having recent evidences of predating 6th and 7th century, we know that these people have found some reason of transfer of knowledge. So now, why do you have to settle in a river? So the first reason is you have abundant supply of clean water to drink without any contamination. The next reason is for you to have abundant supply of food that is coming down the river, which is basically the fish. The freshwater fish are easy to consume, which doesn't have any salt content. And the reason where you can able to use all that fish is through hunting. So we have sharp objects that were found at the depth of 18 feet, which were mimicking that of a spear. So this sharp object, which is around 20 centimeters in length, had understanding that this must have been used as a spear for hunting reasons. And shell bangles. Kiridi site is located about 500-600 kilometers from the shore, and the shoreline does not dictate the point of finding shell bangles. So this means people had a docking port near Kiridi, and Madurai was earlier known to have a very large river called Vaigai. Now Vaigai is running dry. So Vaigai river, when it ran abundant, it had the reason for docking port, and Kiridi had an exchange of shell bangles from the far sea. And water and drainage system. Once you have a clean water, you have to direct it to your home and your industrial purposes. So how they have diverted it? They have used gravity as the main reason to divert water. So this right now you are seeing in the first image is an inclined terracotta pipe that is driving a water from a height of a tank to a lower level. And this again is another image of it. So right now we use submerged pumps and pipes, so that we have PVC piping over a layer and gravel systems to cover it. People had an understanding of irrigation system and farming system at the earlier times to use having this technology then. And the water drainage systems inside the house. Indian houses have this unique courtyards where the water can drain through the central chamber. These were found there also. So in Tamil, we used to call it as Muttam. So the water, when it comes into the center of the house, it goes into a water channel that comes through the exit of the house. And water tanks. These perfectly rectangular shaped tanks that were found at a height of around 6 feet and 8 feet from the excavation point. And this had a lot of water irrigation systems. You can see a Y-shaped sluice there. I'll tell you more about sluice in the later slides. So sluice is a kind of water channel that drives the water from a point A to point B. And a lot of terracotta pipes for adjoining pipes. So from point A to point B, you can join multiple pipes to create a continuous water channel. So this is an example of a pipe that is being exposed and being excavated. So this pipe is particularly in the dimension of around 30 centimeters. So next one is also 30 centimeters, but both of them had a U-shaped inclination. So one can be inserted into another. It can be created like a pencil, like one after the other. It can join to create the longer pencil. But it's a hollow tube actually. Next is soak pit. Modern day we use a lot of water systems to protect the rainwater getting wasted. So this is soak pit that they have used somehow. Next is sluice, that is the water channels. How do they do it? So these water channels used to drive the water from the river to their homes or for their industrial purposes. And they had a collection tank, a water tank that was exposed out of the level. And this was about the height of, this particular tank is about 8 feet. So 8 feet tank, which a dimension of around 1.5 to 2 meters, had the capacity of around 80-90 liters. So this 90 liter water was to be diverted through a water channel, and this water channel has to have some check dams. These check dams are called Madagu in Tamil, and in English it is called sluice. So this either has to be wood or some other material or iron materials, because when they started excavating, these grooves that were found at different distances had the reason that this Madagu was there, this sluice and the check dam was there. And also, if you take for example the water tank, that is the collection water tank, from that you have 5 channels, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, 4 and 5, that is driving to the conical furnace that I introduced earlier. So this has to be either different material that has to have different water bodies to engage. Next, the idea of using what might be the purpose of gifting someone. So we Indians have the inclination to inscribe everything on the gift that we give. So in Tamil Nadu, in particular in Tamil, we used to write the name of the person who is gifting it, and comparatively it is equivalent to that of writing your happy birthday in the earlier birthdays that we have celebrated. So comparatively this must have either been a writing or a symbol. Why? Because we can see that the inscriptions that were written there had an understanding of what kind of words that were written. So we were able to decipher that this had a earliest form of Tamil script, that the word ma, dai, si, me were able to come out of this system, and a lot of inscriptions that had come from it. So with that, Tamil has a uniquely 247 characters, and each character can be deciphered on that particular time to that particular era. So now comparing again. So we know, as I told you in the earlier slides, the evidences that have come up from various excavations from the height of 2 feet to the height of 18 feet. We know that at the various levels we have various potteries that are coming up. But after the depth of 12 feet or 15 feet, we find a lot of evidences of inscriptions that are predating Tamil. So this is called Tamili. That Tamili script had originated even before the 5th century. That is, as I told you before, Sangam literature got completely lost in the turn of the 5th century because there was a natural calamity, and that natural calamity had made sure that none of them existed after the earlier time. So we know from 6th century, from Irenar Agapurul, that this is the script of the Vatta Eluthu. This is a circular script of Tamil that existed for about another 1500 years. So after that, new millennia came in, that now we are using current writing system. So Tamil language had existed even before the 5th century or 6th century through the evidences found in Kizhadi. So other examples of inscriptions found in pottery. Now, coming to the topic that I introduced you. So I told you that when I time traveled, I met a person particularly with the name of Adan. So Adan name was completely not known to the present generation. What happened was, his name was inscribed in 2 different pots. So one is a black and red pot, another is a terracotta pot. So this had the words Kuviran Adan, Ada, and the in letter was missing. But combining the geometrical probability of next letter, that is Adan, it must be the next letter to continue, we came to know that this is particularly has to be a name of a person. It cannot be something else. So let me introduce again. This is the person who I told you earlier. So this is Kuviran Adan, my time traveling companion. He doesn't live anymore, so he's in the 2600 years in the back. So don't ask me where his address is. So the writings and symbols compared again. So this gives the anthropological evidence that people had used the communication language of Tamil even before the earlier times. There are a lot of caves that are found in Madurai region. This is called Kudavarai Koilgal. So where Tamil script was used for writing the names of the beds, Jain beds. Jain people had come in the earliest time of 5th or 6th century before that. So they had been traveling with a lot of minimal things, and they don't expect them to have more than 1 day meal, or they don't expect to carry anything for the future. So they sleep in the wooden beds, rock beds inside caves, and they used to write their names on top of their beds. And the modern day time period, we have a lot of people who visit because the lovers go and meet there. A lot of present day lovers go and meet in the caves and write their names in their modern English. So this gives them the understanding of how advanced they were in the use of technology to inscribe something. And next, coming to civil engineering. The evidences of terracotta tiles found at the depth of 15 and 18 feet had the perfect dimension of 35 centimeters cross 23 centimeters cross 5 centimeters in dimension. Even if you think right now for manufacturing such kind of advanced things, take for example manufacturing it after heat treatment process, quenching process, tempering process, all these manufacturing methods used to be so much cumbersome for the modern day 2020 era. But then we have to rely on a lot of advanced measuring devices to work on it. But earlier times in Kizhadi, they have found the educational system and understanding to work in it in a better way. And manufacturing in such a way and making it habitable. So this is a room. This is kind of a room kind of excavation that was found. This, and particularly this site, is about 30 feet in difference. So normally Indian homes are about in a dimension of 10 feet by 10 feet for a room to be. So 10 அடிக்கு 10 அடின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல. So this particular 2 different levels had a same distance of tiling and the same height also. So this proves that they had some kind of measurement for understanding height also. And obviously Indian medicine is made using a lot of medical reasons of pestle and mortar. This is called Ammi and Attoral in Tamil. And the games that the people used to play, a lot of habitual reason for entertainment was also happening. A lot of dices, a lot of games were also found. So we called as Goli in the modern time. So it's a modern game that is even played in the across Tamil Nadu. And a lot of ivory based coins are also found. This must be something that they might have played, like Adupuli Atam. There is a thing called Adupuli Atam that they used to play. Now coming to the topic of God. See, I told you that Sangam literature before 5th century never existed. So everything got lost. So from the 5th century, we know that these things that happened in the time period from 5th century and later, which was saved by the emperor of Pandya dynasty called Kadungon, had a lot of understanding of literature across the world. But only one existed about God, that is Tirumurugatrupadai. Tirumurugatrupadai was written in 200 to 400 Common Era, that is around 1600 to 1800 years ago. And we Indians, Tamilians, we call it as Thiruvalluvar Aandu. That is the year at which we are right now. It's 2020 Thiruvalluvar Aandu. So Thirukural was written by that sage poet at the turn of the 1st century. So there is the 1st century era, in which the first verse that was written is called Agara Mudala Ezhuthellam Adi Bhagavan Mudatre Ulagu. That is, A is the prime of all letters. The source of the God is the prime of the world. So the elemental gods were someone who had been introduced by the Thiruvalluvar at the 1st century. So Kizhadi site was found 600 years before that. So this gives us the proper evidence that there was evidential gods of nature. Why? Because Sangam literature also mentions it. So I told you about the 5 different Tinai. Tinais are called landscapes of Sangam literature. So Kurunji, Mullai, Maradam, Neidal, Palai had 5 gods. So I'll tell this in Tamil because Tamil is the word which is easily understandable. This is called Seiyon. Seiyon of Kurunji means the person who is spread across the world. What is spread across the world? The sky is spread across the world. Mayon is something who you cannot catch in your hand. The thing that is everywhere, but he cannot be captured and he cannot be held in your hand. It is like a magic. We call it as air. Modern days we call it as air. Air cannot be captured in your hand. Air is there. It's just a feeling that the air is there. Mayon. Senon is the god of water or the rainfall. So it is spread across the greeneries and green pasture. Kadalon, it is the calamitical god who we pray in such a way that the god can able to forgive the reasons of the lover from returning from a long voyage. Say the lover is going for a trade embarkment into the foreign country like Greek or Rome. They have to go and meet someone. They have to come back safely. So the lover prays for the Neidal is the place where in which it happens, and the Kadalon is the god who is there. And Kottravai, the unforgivable and the ruthless and the most fearful god, the fire. Why? Because the desert is the place where you have 2 extremities. The daytime it is very hot. You cannot bear it. So what is hot? The fire is the only thing that is hot. And in the night time it is completely changing. So night times you feel a kind of cold and chill. Even in literature, Sangam literature, there are mentions of a cold that is chilling into your body in the Palai Nilam that is found across Madurai. And the recent movie Asuran movie, there is a shot from one of this Palai Nilam. It is Vembukadu that is found there, in particularly to Tirunelveli and Madurai region. There, in which they show the chillness of the space with only one spark of fire. So that fire is the reason where Kottravai is called as fire in the earlier times. And the antiquities found at Kizhadi had given them the reason that this cannot be any reason of a person or a thing. This has to be someone who is either their family member or the king or someone else. It cannot be a deity or a god. As I told you, Thirukural says that in 1st century, God said that such a way. And the artifacts also mentions about animals also placed there. So they might be worshipping animals also. We don't know. The evidence is not proving such a way that the animals were there. So a lot of things, a bull's head, a head of a person, a mold of a head, all these things were found in Kiridi's excavation site at the depth of 15 and 18 feet. So coming to the topic again. So I told you about the timeline at which the god had existed. So a modern day person seeing God from the perspective of deities and forms of God. And the earliest known person who is traveling to Kiridi and seeing that as a technologically advanced civilization, and coming back to the present day times and finding it is no more advanced at all. So we know from the Sangam literature that 4th century is when the first god form of literature was formed, that is Tirumurugatrupadai, that was written by Nakiranar. And in the 1st century, the first year, Thiruvalluvar Aandu is formed in the year first year. That was the first one which showed Agara Mudala Ezhuthellam Adi Bhagavan Mudittai Olagu. So some 400 years had crossed between writings of Thirukkural and the writings of Tirumurugatrupadai. So some 400 years people have started understanding, creating gods in a human form. And Sangam period, earlier to that, some many centuries before that, some 600, that is 1000 years before the writing of Tirumurugatrupadai, they had the understanding of using nature as God, using Sangam literature as the evidence. So next is going to be list evidences of all these trenches that is going to look like. So I'm going to quickly run through the slides. So height of a person compared to the excavation site. So I keep repeating that 15 and 18 feet is very common mentality. So 15 and 18 feet for your visual ideology. I was telling you about civil engineering, how the flattened land was. So this perfectly dimensional, that is 35, 23 and 5 centimeter tiles of terracotta have to be civil engineered and had to be matched using a leveling gauge and all these things. And this is a perfectly 1.5 meter diameter tank that had a ring well that had the water over a period of time. Next, decorated wares. So now comparing this to modern day ideology, what do you need as the requirements of needs of life? So there are 5 needs: psychological needs, safety needs, love needs, esteemed needs, and self-actualization needs. So in Tamil we call it as unna unavu, udukka udai, irukka idam. All these 3 things, that is food, water and clothing is enough for you to live. But Kiridi people had understood the reason of going beyond it, that is treating a person with a dignity, understanding them and treating them with necessary needs of education. All these things were dealt with. We'll see one by one using the evidences. So evidences that prove that the people have used a lot of water and irrigation systems, a lot of channels that were used for diverting water, water tanks, as I told you earlier, and the civil engineered terracotta tiles that were manufactured in perfect dimension, ivory dices for games and recreation. These were kind of employment needs and resource needs that people had. Lot of blackened and red ware which was used for having their food and also for inviting guests. So you normally do not give a normal ware to their guest. So when you treat your guest, you will treat them with much pleasure. So you will treat them with beautiful cups that are designed by designer ware or advanced ways. And when a potterer makes things, he has to emboss things that are beauty to him. So designing a roletted ware and russetted ware in such a way that it remains for many millennia for them to use. So all these things when combined together becomes the reason for them to export things and understand things. Export, why? Because I told you the engravings that were found at the depth of 18 feet had the findings of fish symbol and boar symbol. Fish particularly is pertinent to the Pandya dynasty. There are 3 flags for each emperors who had ruled Tamil in the earlier times. So fish is known for Pandya dynasty, and this shows that evidence that people loved the symbolism of inscribing things on their pottery. Next, now when you compare something, there was an evidence of technology that was before to our times, that was earlier to our Indian history. So Indian history, we found that the oldest known civilization across the Asian continent is the Indus Valley civilization comparatively. So we do not have the leverage of Indus sites in India, because Indus sites, original sites, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa is right now with Pakistan. But after the independence of 1947, Indian archaeologists have spent enough time to find archaeological sites which had resemblance to Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, where first location was in Lothal, which was discovered in 1955, and for the next 5 years, people have been continuously digging to find the evidences of Harappan dynasty. The next one is Dholavira. Dholavira is also found in Gujarat. So this is a Mohenjo-daro Harappan Indus Valley site which was discovered in 1989, and for the next 15 years, people were been digging and finding new evidences of things. This last one, this is a nameplate which was found at the depth of 2 feet, just below the ground, and this showed them the evidence of some kind of travel guidelines which was used by the Indus Valley people. So now, how does the archaeological system work? So there is some kind of discovery that had happened in the earliest time, that is, people have been using it as a timeline for them to define. So for let's take it as Indus Valley civilization as between 3000 BC to 1450 BC. After that, next 3000 years, nobody heard of it, so nobody knew about it unless until in 1929, I think that was the year Mohenjo-daro and Harappa was found by the British archaeologist in present day Pakistan. After that, people started searching everywhere. There is a new site, there is Indus site everywhere, so we have to find Indus site. So as soon as we got independence, Indian archaeological team, I'm sorry people, if people keep coming in, I have to push the presentation. I'm going beyond the presentation time. I'm sorry, I've already completed around 50 minutes of my time. So the person who is joining right now, I might not able to answer all your questions right now, because this might able to ask us to give opportunity for the people who have been already there. So thank you for coming for this presentation, but I would request you to come again at the earlier time, the next time. This is happening every week from 5 to 6 in Tamil and from 7 to 8 in English. Thank you again. So please stay, and you're going to enjoy the presentation. So these evidences were being rediscovered after the independent India was formed. The first year is in 1989 for Dholavira. So suddenly, after discovering 2 feet, they pushed the discovery date of 1450. So next it goes to 2500 and the second year. Next to 3000 years. Next to 3500 years behind. So after the year 15 years of excavation in Dholavira, that is in Gujarat site, they were able to find evidences of this is an Indus Valley civilization. Now, let's take the example of Kidadi. So Kidadi, we don't know the actual time period at which it existed, because we say it is a Sangam period, because Sangam period, as I told you, 4400 years, we don't know which period it started first. So there was complete age of darkness. Nobody knew about it for a very long time. They think was Sangam literature is less like a layman's story, writing all the novels and literature like every day we find in things. But the first discovery happened in 2014. The archaeologist from Archaeological Survey of India dig and found a lot of evidences of dating to first or to the 1200 Common Era, that is around 800 to 900 years behind. Second excavation started at 2016, where they pushed it to the first century. So as I told you, a lot of artifacts were found. I've been giving presentation on a lot of artifacts found there. And recently, 2018, we found archaeological evidences of both stratigraphical and epigraphical evidences that prove in such a way, and scientific evidences that prove in such way that it is to around 2600 years old. Next, moving on from the year third, that presently we are in the 6th year right now in Kidadi excavations. The next 15 years, if it keeps continuing, we might discover that this a dynasty had lived even before that Kiredi or the Indus Valley time. So comparing Lothal with Kiredi, why do we need to compare it? Because there is an evidence of lot of artifacts that were found to have inscriptions from both Indus sites and the Kiredi site. So this means that epigraphical understanding of things had already happened. So how does historians work? They don't work with oral history. They work with history and evidences proved by methodological ways, that is the written way. And how does the modern technology work? Especially with Kiredi site. So Kiredi collaborated, the Archaeological Survey of India collaborated with the Institute of Geomagnetism in Mumbai and remote sensing to do ground penetrating radar systems to find the actual depth. And ground penetrating radar cannot go much deeper. The maximum it can go is around 10 feet because it is a clay soil. If it is a lot of water and impurities, it will stop even further. So the maximum, if it is a sandy soil, it can grow even to the depth of 30 feet. So Kiredi site is a lightly age-old river valley site. So the maximum depth that they went in the first year of excavation was around 10 feet. Using that as evidence, they continually excavated and found a lot of things. So these are all the sites that were close to the proximity of Kiredi. This is the Vaigai sites that are found here. So now presently, there are 4 sites that are happening right now along with Kiredi. That is Kondagai, Agaram, Manalur and Kiredi. All these sites are very close by. If you can see around this area, all these 4 sites are there. So they also had scientific evidences proved by spectroscopic analysis from University of Pisa that I showed you, that inverted firing furnace that I found at the depth of 15 feet. This is the oldest known historical body which works with pottery making and pot making. And the Deccan College in Pune had given the understanding that how Madurai people had used Timul Kale, that is the Indians' Bos Indicus kind of bull, for using their everyday domestic life. So in Madurai we have that system of controlling the bull called Jallikattu. So for people who are very familiar with that locality can know what is this of much significance to our life. And there are also a lot of evidences of people who had written archaeological findings in these ways. So Beta Analytics lab from USA was used for finding the radiocarbon dating. Why? Because there was one particular carbon thing that was found at the depth of 12 feet. So this 12 feet of carbon data had found that the evidence of 2600 years was the time at which this artifact was found. So now giving you an overall view. So the time traveler who had jumped from the present to the past and time traveling back again to the present, which is me. So the evidences that were found as a lot of civil engineering, mechanical engineering and a lot of inscriptional engineering concepts, which was being rediscovered by the modern day humans using technology that are present to the times. So these are all the technologies that are present there. Next, I'm going to show you the ways in which we can portray the technology to the future generation. So this is going to be in Tamil. So if it is not understandable, I would request audience to be patient. I'll explain it in English again.
இந்த மெய்நிகர் காட்சி கூடத்துல என்னென்னலாம் சார் காட்சிப்படுத்தப்பட்டிருக்கு? ஸோ இங்கே கீழடியில் நடந்த அகழ்வாய்வு பணியை வந்து நம்ம கம்ப்ளீட்டாக 3Dல கேப்சர் பண்ணி அந்த இடத்துக்கு போய் பார்க்குற மாதிரி நம்ம கிரியேட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ இப்போ இருக்க ஜென்ரேஷனுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி ஒரு நியூ அட்வான்ஸ் டெக்னாலஜி வர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நியூ டெக்னாலஜி யூஸ் பண்ணி நாங்கள் இதை கம்ப்ளீட்டாக 3Dல ஒரு இமோசிவ் டெக்னாலஜி அங்கே அந்த இடத்துக்கே போயிட்டு கம்ப்ளீட்டாக எல்லாருக்கும் அந்த ஒரு சின்ன ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி மாதிரி கிரியேட் பண்ணி கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ எல்லாருமே அதை பார்க்கலாம். அது இல்லாமல் வந்து அங்கே எடுத்த பொருட்கள்லாம் கூட அவங்க எடுத்து கையில் எடுத்து பார்க்கலாம். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு உணர்வை கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ இது கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து 3 டைமென்ஷனல் வியூவில் ஒரு முப்பரிமாண கோணத்தில் வந்து இது எல்லாருமே வந்து பார்க்கலாம். ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ. கீழடி அகழ்வாயோட விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டி ஷோ முன்னாடி தான் நான் இருக்கேன். இப்போ வந்து என்னால் கீழடி போய் பார்க்க முடியாதுன்றவங்க புக் ஃபேருக்கு வந்து ஏன்னா மறக்காமல் இந்த விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டி ஷோவில் வந்து பாருங்கள். பொதுவாகவே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கீழடி அகழ்வாய்வு ஆராய்ச்சி கூட பொதுமக்களாக உள்ளே போனால் கண்டிப்பாக என்டர் பண்ணுவாங்களான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. பட் ஆனால் இங்கே பார்க்கும்போது உண்மையிலேயே சூப்பராக இருக்குது. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நான் கீழடி அகழ்வாய்வு ஆராய்ச்சிக்குள்ளே இருக்கிற மாதிரி தான் இருக்குது. இதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா
ஆராய்ச்சி செய்கிற சுவர்கள் வந்து என்னோட கண்ணுக்கு அப்படியே தெரியுது. எல்லாமே கிட்ட கிட்ட தெரியுதுங்க. ரொம்பவே சூப்பராக இருக்குது இந்த ஃபீலிங். வந்து பானை ஓடுகள் வந்து அதோட குறியீடுகள் வந்து இந்த பானை ஓட்டு மேலே வச்சுருக்காங்க. இந்த எழுத்துக்கள் குறியீடுகள்லாம் இங்கே இருக்குது. இந்த டென்ட்டு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சூப்பராக இருக்குது. இதெல்லாமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கண்ணுக்கு கிட்ட விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டியில் சூப்பராகவே இருக்குங்க. சூப்பர் அமேசிங். கீழடி அகழாய்வு ஆராய்ச்சிக்குள்ள நம்ம போய் பார்க்குற மாதிரியே இந்த விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டி ஷோ அமைஞ்சிருந்தது. அந்த பானை ஓட்டுகள் மேலே இருக்கிற குறியீடுகள் இதெல்லாமே என்னால் பார்க்க முடிஞ்சது. உண்மையிலேயே ரொம்ப சூப்பராக இருக்குது. நீங்களும் இங்கே வரும்போது மறக்காமல் வந்து பாருங்கள். சூப்பராக இருக்குது. கீழடி அகழாய்வு ஆராய்ச்சியோட இடத்த பற்றியும் அங்கே இருக்கிற டென்ட்டை பற்றியும் நம்ம விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டி ஷோல பார்த்தோம். இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்க்கறது தான் அங்கே கண்டெடுக்கப்பட்ட அரிய வகை பொக்கிஷங்களை கிட்ட எடுத்து பார்க்குற மாதிரியான ஒரு விர்ச்சுவல் ரியாலிட்டி ஷோ தான் இது. இதில் வந்து ஆடியோ வாய்ஸும் உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. நீங்கள் இங்கே வரும்போது இதையும் மறக்காமல் ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்கள்.
So this is a kind of accumulation of all the knowledge that we have collected with the archaeological team, and this is again a news clipping. I'll just skip it across. So there are 4 things that we did with archaeological department as a technology collaborator. So we had the use of scripts that were found at the Tamil Brahmi scripts, and the next we created a trench kind of VR experience where you can be placed inside the trench and explore the Kizhadi site, how it looked, and the artifacts that can be held in the hand and seen in close with using VR. And the last one is the augmented reality photograph that you can take from the trench and you can share it using WhatsApp. So this is the people, our proud team of 20 people. We have civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, mathematics people, physics people, all these people who have been working with this at the technological front for collaborating this Madras Mindworks' AR/VR demo at Kizhadi site. So now giving you a comparison. So I took you on a time travel to the earlier 2600 years back. So you found a lot of things that are interesting then. Next, I showed you about the VR technology that is in the present time. So what might happen in the future? Say from 500 years from now, how the technology would have advanced. So this is in comparison of a earliest Roman palace that was found in Palazzo Valentini. It is in Italy. It's a completely immersive experience where the excavation site itself is filled by a glass face. So you can walk on the glass and you can see all the artifacts below you as if it had experience. This is from the 1st century or 2nd century BC, that I'm not sure, very sure. But this is around 2000 years old palace, and they use technology to showcase their existing point using technology. I'm just going to give you images. So these are all the topics that we have covered. So we talked about stratigraphy, what is epigraphy, what is artifacts, what are the work cultures that they had, what does the river valley basin work with, what are the irrigational water management things that they have, what are the technologies that they have for water management, how is their writing system, what is their education systems, all these things we have covered. So combining everything now. So when we have grammar and literature combined with artifacts and historical evidences, we get culture. Instead of handshake, we call it as Namaste in India. So thanks for everyone for coming to this presentation. And these are some of the inspirations that we had for making this presentation. This particularly I am very fond of as a time travel experience in technology. So I also like to thank the archaeological team, Uday Chandran sir and Shivanandam sir, and Amarnath Ramakrishnan. As most of you know, he was the person who had been instrumental in finding Kizhadi's artifacts, and Dr. R. Balakrishnan, who has been the person who has been working on Indus civilization's relatability to Kizhadi. And I would like to especially thank my grandfather, who had worked as the director for Archaeological Survey of India between 1955 to 1985. So he had been the person who had excavated in the Lothal site in Gujarat, so for the first Indus Valley civilization. When I showed him the documentations that we have prepared for the Kizhadi site, he was very taken aback, and he had tears in his eyes, because he always wanted some evidences and findings from the modern day technology, that Tamil literature had existed even before the time it was there. So it was very emotional for me to see my grandfather have tears when he was reading the Kizhadi site report. So now coming to the topic again. So thank you everyone for coming. And before I conclude, I started you the presentation saying that what we know just now is very meager, very little thing, and we are yet to know more and more things. In Tamil we call it as Katrathu Kaiman Alavu, Kalladhu Ulagalavu. So even Avvayar herself was not one person. She herself had been a time traveling companion with me, and she had traveled across 6 different timelines from Sangam literature times to the earliest times. So I am very profoundly fascinated by the topic of history and technology. And for those who have come here, you can drop your email ID in the chat box so that I can send your participation certificates if you are interested. And my email ID is abhi@madrasmindworks.com. This is going to be some kind of a ticket kind of experience for you. And now this concludes the session. I am open to take questions from you. And for those who have come a little later, like 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, I would request you to come back again for the session next week, which is happening at the same time from 5 to 6 in Tamil and from 7 to 8 in English. So if possible, you can ask your questions with much more clarity the next time. And if you can contribute to us and if you can give us a treat, say like buying us a coffee or tea for our team. We are a 20-member team. If you are interested, you can also do that also. I'm sorry, Shiba ma'am who had come just now, we have concluded this session, and I would request you to come one more time for this, but the session is going to have open discussion right now. So any questions and answers you have, I'm open to take questions, and please, anybody can ask me any questions. Over to you. Or any suggestions you want, you can ask. Yeah, next week also same ID, you can come in the same ID. Both Tamil and English will be handled by me. Any questions, any suggestions, please go ahead. Yeah, Tirumurugatrupadai is written in the 4th century. Keeladi site as of evidences is found even before that. So I cannot compare whether Keeladi is relevant to Tirumurugatrupadai. No, because I'll give you even further example. When you are born, you are known to be holding the hands of your mother to understand who the father is. Correct? So the time at which we are born to the age of 10 or 15, the first person you get introduced is your father. So the ideology of a figure of a father is known only through you to your mother. So mother is Keeladi right now, and Keeladi is introducing us that the first known mention of God is even only at the times that is 700, 800 years or 1000 years from then. So this is comparatively different. கடவுள்னு ஒருத்தர் இருந்திருக்காருன்னா அந்த கடவுள் அந்த இருந்த காலமே வந்து இன்னும் ஒரு 1000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடின்னு சொன்னால் எப்படி இருக்கும், அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்குது. So if I being a little colloquial in Tamil, any suggestions you have, any contributions you would like to make, anything you want to say, please go ahead, unmute and you can say. This session also happens every week. Tamil and Tamil Brahmi script are one and the same. Nandagopal sir. No, we are not uploading this session in YouTube because it is debatable if I upload it there. This is a very close session. I don't want to make it as a conference. So a lot of archaeological evidences we have is known to us after interacting with the historians. So we have interacted with, as I shown you, the historical properties are known only to all these 4 people. So we interacted with them and we got that information from them. So this cannot be put in YouTube. I'm so sorry. No questions? Nobody who is interested to ask questions to me? ஏன்னா கேட்கனா கேளுங்க, தமிழில் கூட கேட்கலாம். If you are conversing in Tamil, I will translate the question in English and I will answer them. பயப்படாதீங்க.
அபி சில கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து டைப் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க எல்லாரும் சாட்ல.
நான் அதை பார்த்துட்டு தான் இருக்கேன்.
Okay.
How do you correlate the usage of all the artifacts found to the present day activities? Sir, Madam Anu, have you come very, very late to the presentation? If so, then I don't know whether this is the question that you should ask. This is for Anu ma'am, I can tell you that I have shown you the evidences using actual engineering methodologies that are used presently to the older times. If you can be little more understanding of what you mean by how do you correlate the usage of all artifacts found to the present day activities? What do you mean by that, ma'am? I think your microphone is not working, I guess. So we have evidential proof of everything using scientific analysis. So when things like pottery manufacturing is used at such of inverted firing method, it means that it can only be done through that method. It cannot be done through any other method. It is like how easy for us to eat food through our mouth. So this is scientific evidences that we have found, and this is being acknowledged by the archaeological department using their evidences reported in their Kiredi documentation. So this is there as a publication. So this is also there. Can you tell more about its relation to megalithic sites? Megalithic culture I cannot compare, ma'am, because we are still at the year 6 right now. After the year 6, maybe in the future times we can able to compare it, because right now it is being dated to 2600 years. Megalithic sites, for those who don't understand, is earlier generation, even before people understood the usage of metalworking, that is Stone Age. அது கற்காலம் சொல்கிற விஷயம். நம்ம கீழடி is a modern day civilization site. This is metal age or iron age. We cannot compare megalithic sites to Kiredi unless now. So even if you go even deeper, or if you find relevant megalithic sites across Kiredi site, maybe some 5 to 10 kilometers in the radius, then we can compare it. We don't have any evidence of that. Is the excavation still going on? Yes, excavation is going on in 4 different places that I already mentioned. Kondagai, Agaram, Manalur and Kiredi. All these places is just around 30 square kilometer radius. It is happening now. So this year's edition will be completed by September or October, I'm not sure, due to lockdown and due to Madurai having its COVID-19's effect. I don't know if it is going to be end by even by August or so. But after that excavation gets completed, we will have new evidences of latest data. Because just 2 weeks back, we found evidences of weighing stones, Alavukal. Any other questions? If you would like to contribute to us, if you would like to buy us coffee or tea, go ahead. I have given you the opportunity to that. Knowledge is free, and I wanted to promote what is the depth excavated until now. I told you, sir, it is around 15 to 18 feet, sir, maximum. Karthik Anandan has the profile picture of Ezio Auditore. No, not Ezio Auditore, even before that. Assassin's Creed 1. So if you want to have the actual animus experience of traveling to 2600 years, you should come a little early, Karthik, so that I can able to explain it to you. Jagadish hobbies. How Kiredi is covered by mud? How it is happened? We don't know, Jagadish sir, because Kiredi site used to be a remnant part of Vaigai river. So if you understand Tamil culture, Tamil Nadu has around 5 Jeeva Nadigal, that is Vaigai, Pennai, Porunai. All these 5 rivers had a reason for traveling a very vast distances with very longer tributary lines. So some 1500 or 2500 years ago, there might have been some flood that would have covered the entire place. We don't know. Please note that this is just a speculation. Kiredi site is not completely covered by mud right now. It is covered by coconut grooves. Coconut trees are growing in Kiredi right now. So the first photograph I showed you was the coconut land space, which is around 110 acres. It was filled with coconuts. So the archaeology department got that site from one particular philanthropist who gave the site for discovering new discoveries regarding Kyridi. So it is not covered in mud, it is covered in fertile sand, and above which coconut trees are growing. And 110 acres, only 1 acre is being excavated. Kumari Kandam is a topic which has been often mentioned. I will tell you one thing. If this topic comes into understanding, the first Sangam age which was known by the Irayana Ragapurul or Tolgapiyar's writing is not found. And Indian archaeology has only 4-member team in marine archaeology. You know what is marine archaeology? That is that jumping into the water or the ocean to find archaeological sites. But Indian archaeology in the land side has more than 2000 or 2500 archaeologists. So if you have 4 people to search the entire Indian Ocean to find Kumari Kandam's evidence, it will take at least another 400 years for one person. So bear with me. If you want, you can join the archaeological department as a marine archaeologist and go and search for Kumari Kandam. How did you know that Kyridi has archaeological features? One second, sir. I'll go to that slide also. If you need that particular evidence, I will go to that slide. I think I would have covered there. So first they had a survey through drones. They had ground penetrating radars search from the site at 2013 and 14. They found reasons for various topographic analysis using Anna University's excellence in that technology, and they used satellite imaging technology from Indian Institute of Geomagnetism to find different levels of geomagnetic properties in that site. So and after that they found a penetrating radar at the ground level survey, and they found that evidence that around 100 places are like that in the extent of the Vaigai river. So these are all the 100 sites that are located. For the next 100 to 200 years, there can be excavations in each one particular site, and they will find a lot of evidence. In early 2017, excavation was carried out at Alagankulam village in Ramanad. What was the findings there? Sir, regarding Alagankulam, we can have a separate discussion, not in Kyridi discussion, because Alagankulam is a different site. So, if you have, I'll answer these questions through email. I'll give my email ID. I'll give you all the findings regarding Alagankulam in the email ID, not at Kyridi's presentation. I'm sorry. Kyridi site is the only place at which they found the evidences of things that are less than 8 feet or 10 feet. This concrete structure, I think I have to go to that particular slide. One second. So all these structures that you see in the slide, these things are visible from a height of 5 feet and 10 feet. So using this ground penetrating radar data, they found that these were all long structures. நிறைய நீளமான ஏதோ வந்து பொருட்கள் கிடச்சிருக்குன்றது அவங்களுக்கு தெரியுது. ஸோ அந்த பொருள் வந்து எதர் வந்து ஒரு செவராக இருக்கலாம், இல்லைனா ஒரு கதவாக இருக்கலாம், செவராக இருக்கலாம், இல்லைனா வேறு ஏதாவது ஒரு பொருளாக இருக்கலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு தே ஸ்டார்டட் ஃபைண்டிங் இட் அஸ் Kyridi as a site. ஒரு கிளஸ்டர் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ் வேர் ஃபவுண்ட் அட் தி Kyridi site. ஸோ 10 அடி ஆழத்தில் என்ன கிடைக்கும். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்லாம் நீங்கள் வந்து யூ கேன் ஒன்லி ஃபைண்ட் இன் Kyridi. ஸோ திஸ் ப்ரூவ்ஸ் தட் எவிடன்ஸ் தட் தே பின் பாயிண்டட் த லொக்கேஷன் இன் த இயர் 2014. ஸோ எக்ஸ்கவேஷன்ஸ் வில் ஹேப்பன் ஃபார் another 5 to 10 years. I saw in TV news there are animal skeletons found in excavation. Tell me about that. I think I have to repeat the slide again. Nandagopal sir, I have mentioned enough about it already. Please come for the presentation next week so that you can able to understand these things. Sir, this can Sir Karthik Anandan regarding Indus Valley also I have given. I think the questions are getting repeated, so please come early so that you will understand the understanding. So this is comparing Indus Valley with Kiridi. So I have given enough evidence in this. So please come next time so that I'll give you comparison of how things progressed over time. So this is discovery of Indus Valley from 1955 to 2005. This is present day Kiridi. So as year progresses, this will push us even back to the further time. If possible, please share slide through mail. I joined late. Sir, I will try to do it, but unfortunately, this is all confidential. I cannot share it through email. I can explain it to you by text. Or if you want it, you can record the session. I don't mind recording the session, but you can record this session if you want. Screen recording it is possible. If you can do it. I don't mind. So this concludes the session. Thank you all for coming. So if you have any feedback, I will give you the feedback link. Give your feedback, and if possible, you can also come for the next week's session. This session happens every week from thank you for your appreciation. So from 5 to 6 in Tamil and from 7 to 8 in English. So thanks everyone.